I just finished installing vinyl flooring in a new makerspace in my basement, so I thought it'd be a great opportunity to share some common pitfalls with this job for the everyday DIYer like me. Starting with number 7, ignoring subfloor imperfections. To have a successful flooring install, your subfloor must be flat. You'll feel those subtle imperfections through your planks, so take the time to make sure your space is just the way you want it. Fill in any low spots and flatten down any high spots to ensure a successful install. I knocked down some of the high spots in this room with a grinder, which was messy but essential. Number 6, underbuying your product. Few things are more frustrating than having to head back to the hardware store because you need more materials. You can avoid the all too common walk of shame returning to the flooring department again by using the 10% rule, which works like this. Calculate your flooring area, then add an additional 10% for waste. Take this room for example. It has an area of 248 square feet. To buy enough flooring, I take my area of 248 times 110%, which for me ended up being about 273 square feet of flooring. This math worked perfectly in this room, and I ended up with only 2 planks left over when the job was finished. Number 5, taking the willy-nilly layout approach. Being intentional about your plank layout is super important, as there's definitely a wrong way to do it. Some DIYers are tempted with the bricking option, with joints every 24 inches on every other row, but the common opinion is that this looks kinda cheap. Some people do a 1/3, 2/3 layout approach, so every third row will have the same joint. Others simply start the new row with the leftover plank portion cut from the last plank in the preceding row, which is what I did. Whichever method you choose, keep at least 8 inches between joints and ensure that your pattern is not overly noticeable. Number 4 is leaving your final row width up to chance. Now listen, starting your first row with full-size planks makes a ton of sense, but a little foresight can keep you from running into problems on the final row. Get out your thinking cap, because here comes some more math. Measure your room width and divide by the width of your planks. For me, 210 inches of room width divided by 8.7 inches of plank width is about 24.1. Now, if the decimal is smaller than 0.5, that means your final row will be too skinny. My decimal is 0.1, meaning my last row will be under an inch wide, which won't work. To resolve this, you can rip a little off of your first row, and whatever width you remove will end up adding directly to the width of the final row. A little advanced planning can go a long way. And while you could just roll the dice and let your final row width land where it may, don't forget that fate is a fickle old bat and isn't too fond of DIYers either. Number 3 is forgetting about expansion. Don't forget, this is a floating floor, meaning you're not anchoring it down. So as temperature fluctuates, so can your floor. Therefore, leaving room for expansion is essential for a quality install. Most people suggest letting planks run up to 1/4 inch away from the wall and no closer. You can buy spacers to help you with this, or you can do what I did and use shims cut to the right thickness and tape them into place on the wall. Number 2 is not purchasing a pull bar. Guys, when installing vinyl flooring, you have a best friend. No, it's not your dog. Your best friend while laying vinyl flooring is the pull bar, and it is a must-have tool for installing your final row, since you can't simply tap that one in with your mallet and a tapping tool, because you've got a pesky wall in the way. Your pull bar can help you tap in edge planks without removing the wall to do it. And while it may be tempting to think maybe using a pry bar would work, you'll be saving yourself from a big headache and a waste of time if you just add a pull bar to your shopping list. They're typically under 20 bucks and well worth it. Now, before I share the last common DIYer pitfall, I wanted to let you know that this video is sponsored by BirdFi, the leading brand in smart bird feeder cameras. This BirdFi bird feeder was not only easy to install, but has given me some absolutely breathtaking shots of some of my backyard birds. Here's some footage from my feeder. If you're interested in learning more about BirdFi or one of their bird feeder cams, I've got a link in the video description. And now, the number 1 mistake that DIYers like me tend to make is relying on your utility knife for all cuts. While the flooring manufacturer will tell you that all your cuts can be made with a utility knife, it's a little more complicated than that when putting it into practice. Bring along your power tools to make the job easier on yourself. My suggestion is that you use your chop saw for straight cuts, your circular saw for ripping planks, and your oscillating tool for any complex cuts around walls or doorways. If you'd like to see some additional tips and tricks while I install vinyl flooring in this makerspace, I've got a video you can check out right here. And if after seeing this video you feel like I've earned your subscription, you can do so by clicking the ManCycle logo right here. See you next time.